YouTube world? It's your boy B, and I'm right back up at you cats with another video. What's going on, my good people in the YouTube world? How y'all feeling? I'm all right, just doing my thing on my way to work at this 4:30 in the morning. How y'all feeling, man? How are y'all feeling? It is June 1st already, man. June 1st, 2026. This time is going by so fast, y'all. We already halfway through the year. Can you believe it? Halfway through the year. And this is a perfect time to ask you, what was your New Year's resolution? What did you guys plan on achieving this year? And did you get closer to it? Let's be real with ourselves, people. Let's be real with ourselves. Did you get closer to your goals? I hope you did, man. I hope you did. I hope you did. Me, I made a deal with myself earlier in the year. I told myself that I was most definitely going to get into posting a lot more, and I've done that. So I'm definitely happy with that. When it comes to work, I've learned so much more. Started speaking up a lot more and getting closer to where I want to be. There are still some things that I need to get together, but we working on them, my people. We working on them. And how was your weekend? What you guys do? What you guys do for the weekend? What do you guys have planned to do this weekend, my people, or this week? Me, I don't know yet, man. The weeks unfold in mysterious ways, and I could never predict them. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's most definitely a good thing. I can't foresee a few things popping up in the future, but we prepared, man. We are definitely prepared. We got 13 people on that check-in. When you're stepping in, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If this is something that you're into, and if this is something that you like. And what is this? Nothing much, man. I'm just a regular dude who walk his way to work every single day and speak to you guys about things that's going on in life in general, my people, and life in general. So we got one person on the check-in. They say, yo, Stream Master, RU5GU. Was good, my brother. Where you coming in from? Let me know what city you're coming in from, what country. Also, what time is it where you are? What time is it where you are? This is New York right here, Freeport, New York, Nassau County. It is 4:30 a.m. over here, and we just starting our day off. He said, California, you're good, and you're coming in from California. What part of Cali you coming in from? What part of Cali are you coming in from? Yes, sir. So we got a good episode lined up for you today. We're going to talk about the Spurs versus the Knicks. Just a little bit about the Spurs versus the Knicks. I'm going to tell you guys some of the things that I remember happening in basketball, some of my most memorable basketball moments. And we also are going to speak a little bit about diabetes, man. A little bit about diabetes. So we got somebody else on the check-in. Somebody said, hopefully go 7 games. And somebody said, go Spurs. All right, you're going to have to exclude yourself from the conversation if you're out here saying go Spurs. This is New York right here. So, we all for the Knicks. We are all for the Knicks. So you're going to have to excuse yourself. Somebody said, hopefully it goes 7 games. Yeah, I definitely would like to see a 7-game series. Hopefully it'll be competitive. It'll be competitive. I think it will be. I think it definitely will be competitive. As of right now, I don't think the Knicks could beat the Spurs. I know they beat them, what, twice this year? I think they beat them twice this year. I was looking at some highlights and they look pretty good. But we're gonna see. We are definitely going to see the way the Knicks have been going. They looking unstoppable, man. They looking unstoppable. But the Spurs also look real good. The Spurs also look good. People were saying the Western Conference Finals are really the NBA Finals. But the East Coast have always been disrespected since Jordan left. You know what I mean? In Boston, once they was controlling it. But we shall see, my people. We shall see. We shall see. So I told you cats, we got somebody else on the check-in said Knicks all the way. Exactly. That's my boy here on the check said the Rockwell want 13. Yes, sir. Knicks all the way. And we shall see. Knicks all the way. So you guys know that last week I was telling y'all I ran out of my insulin and I didn't have any insulin. So I made appointment with my endocrinologist. So I got a new endocrinologist last week, my people, on Friday. And I'm gonna tell y'all about endocrinologists, yo. They're some of the realest doctors out there. They could be your life coach because they don't play. I don't know if they go to medical school and they teach them all of this type of stuff, but when they see you not taking care of your diabetes and your A1C numbers are high and your sugars are high, yo, they gonna give it to you, yo. They real with you. They don't sugarcoat anything. They be like, yo, they run through everything that could possibly happen when you have high sugars. They like, all right, keep playing with yourself. Since you don't care about your life, you're gonna lose your legs, you're gonna lose your fingers. They say you're gonna die. They was like, yo, you're gonna be impotent, you're gonna have erectile dysfunction, you're gonna have this, you're gonna have that. And I'm just like, damn, I don't want none of that stuff they talking about, man. I need to take care of myself. But it's true. It's true. Because diabetes, I'm telling you, yo, it's a silent, silent, silent killer. Man, I just urge everybody to go to their doctors, especially when you turn your 40s and 50s. And, because all you really have when you get older is your age, man. I mean, I'm sorry, your health. And your health really gonna determine the quality of life that you have as you get older. And I'm telling you, yo, diabetes is no joke. Somebody else said Cat and Robinson won't be able to stop winning. That's gonna be a good one. We're gonna see, Cat can move around. Uh, what's the name? Robinson definitely can move around. And they're strong. Both of them are strong. Wimby, you could kind of get physical with them, depending on how the refs let the game play. That could most definitely be a problem. If they calling everything, then I definitely see Wimby going off. I definitely see Wimby going off. But Wimby gonna go off no matter what, man. Wimby gonna go off no matter what. I don't think anybody really could stop him. You could just contain him a little something. I definitely could see that. My boy Brunson. Shout out to Long Island. Y'all already know what it is. But Brunson, I think he gonna have to work very, very hard in this series because the Spurs, they got that size, they got that length, they got that defense that they're throwing Brunson, and we gonna see, man. We gonna see. Somebody came on and said, "Has anyone seen a Naku nine?" Nah, I never seen that. Somebody said Spurs and 6. I hope. All right, you gonna have to step up out of here. You talking about Spurs and 6? Get out of here. My boy Daniel Berry, Sports Highlight says subbed up. Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Somebody said like, share, double tap. Thank you, my brother. Said Robinson gonna be a big miss for New York. Facts, 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 facts. Somebody else said diabetes can also mess with your eyesight. That's a fact. That is also a fact. And that is what the endocrinologist said. He said, you're going to go blind. He was like, just getting on me, man. I'm like, damn, son, I never allow another man to talk to me like this in the streets. I'm like, yo, you getting disrespectful, brother. Watch your mouth. But it's true. Sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need to get beat up. Like he was telling me all types of craziness. Because last week I told you guys I had an insulin pump. And he wanted me to even change the type of pump I'm on. He like, yo, the pump that you got now takes the most manual work, the most manual labor. And he was like, oh, you the type that ain't gonna do this and ain't gonna do that. You gonna kill yourself. I'm like, Jesus Christ. What? He said, somebody else checked in, said, I'd rather see Hart win the ring. Fact, shout out to Hart. The Knicks in 7. Hopefully the Knicks in 7. Hopefully the Knicks in 7. Since, I got to read the room. I see you guys in the basketball mood. Let's talk a little bit about basketball. And I'm going to tell you some of my most memorable moments in sports. I go back to the old school, my people. I go back to the old school. 46-year-old man. So I remember a lot in sports. Haven't really been watching sports like I usually did when I was growing up, but I can give y'all some memories. So, y'all know I told you guys earlier that the Nets were my favorite team. This is before they moved to Brooklyn. This is when they were in New Jersey. And I told you guys that My boy Derek Coleman was my favorite basketball player growing up. I remember he used to have that British Knights commercial where he talking about how many fouls. He said, you only get 6 fouls. And he was blowing people up with with bombs and all types of stuff. Like, that's when I first started liking Derek Coleman. And I started following his career. So he came from Syracuse. He went to Syracuse. He's from Detroit. And then he went to the Nets, man. And at the time, they had another one of a New York legend. You guys know New York City produces some great point guards. So Kenny Anderson, he's straight from Queens. Shout out to KA. He's definitely a legend out here. Somebody who the streets definitely loved out here in New York. The streets loved Kenny Anderson. So we used to follow Kenny Anderson. And y'all know I'm a Duke fan. I'm a Duke fan. But Kenny Anderson destroyed my boy Bobby Hurley. I might be going back too early for you guys, man. It might be going back too early for you guys. But Kenny Anderson destroyed Bobby Hurley. And if y'all know about Bobby Hurley, he's a legend. Bobby Hurley was a beast. I think he's from Jersey. I think Bobby Hurley is from Jersey. But Kenny Anderson destroyed him. And, he went to Georgia Tech. So everybody knew Kenny Anderson out here on these streets. And they was definitely my team, right? So I remember watching one game against Shaq and Orlando Magic. And I was watching that game live when Shaq broke the damn rim. I was so damn mad as hell when Shaq broke the damn rim on the Nets, yo. It made me pissed off because they was my team. You understand? But I do remember when Derek Coleman dunked on him. That definitely amped me up. We got somebody else on the check-in said he's a Clippers fan. Shout out to the Clippers. Shout out to the Clippers. You want to hear something funny? Remember Darius Miles on the Clippers? Shout out to Darius Miles, man. People used to say when I was growing up, like when I was like 18, 19, I used to have cornrows. People used to always say I look like Darius Miles. I never understood it. They was like, yo, here come Darius Miles. The people they always say I look like Darius Miles. They say I look like Will I Am. They said Omar Epps. Just all the, dark skinned people they say I look like. I don't look like one of them. But those are the people they always used to say I look like Darius Miles. That's hilarious. And shout out to the Clippers. They was definitely a team that we used to follow back in the day. They used to have Maggette, Darius Miles. Who else they had on their team? They was some beasts. There's definitely some beasts back in the day. So shout out to the Clippers. We got somebody else on the check-in said my favorite player growing up was Blake. All right, Blake was a beast. Blake was a beast. Blake was definitely a beast. I like this game. He definitely did a lot. He had the little shake and bake. He started developing the jumper, and he could jump out the gym. So shout out to Blake Griffin. He was a beast. We got somebody else on the check-in said Stromal Swift. Stromal Swift. All right, going back. I hear you. I hear you. We got 3 people on the check-in. One like. Hit that thumbs up, my people. Definitely hit that thumbs up. You're rocking with me. So yeah, I remember when Shaq broke the court on the Nets. Crazy, crazy, crazy time. I also remember watching the Knicks back in the day. And the OJ chase came on while the game was on. Oh, I still remember that to this day. And I followed that trial as a kid. I think I was like 13 at the time, 13, 14. But I remember the Knicks was playing. They stopped the game and went to that OJ Simpson chase. That was another crazy time in basketball. I remember the Malice in the Palace, exactly when it happened. I was in my 20s when that happened. I remember the craziness, and you guys know me. I'm from New York again. Another one of our legends, Ron Artest, was involved with that Meta World Peace. Um, definitely, definitely was involved in that. And I think I got a video where I walked by his hood. I walked over the 59th Street Bridge out there in Queens, Long Island City / Astoria. Like you walk over the 59th Street Bridge, you walk straight over Queens Bridge. You know what I mean? You walk right by it, you can see Queens Bridge for anybody that's in the rap, anybody that's into that type of stuff. You could definitely go back on my page and see they whole hood, and it's a lot of legends over there from Queensbridge. You dig? A lot of people over there from Queensbridge. We got somebody on the check-in said, "What's up, Reagan? Ain't nothing, chilling." Somebody said, "I don't really like." Somebody said, "Basketball people." You said you don't really like basketball people. Why you don't like basketball people? Why don't you like basketball people? you know. I'm cool with basketball cats, you know what I mean? Like, I never really have problems with basketball dudes. Like, I get along with them. I went to Hofstra University. The coach, I went to Hofstra when their current coach, Speedy, actually went to the school. So we was in the school together, let you know how far I go back. And Speedy, he went pro. Y'all know him. Speedy Claxton. I think he played defense against Iverson back in the day, played pretty good against Iverson. He went to the Spurs. So shout out to Speedy, but I was in school with him. And we had a pretty good basketball team. They made it to uh, the tournament that year. And they was always cool. I never got, no problems with them. It was them damn football players I always used to get in problems with. The Hofstra football team back in 99, 2000. Like, they used to throw parties in the dorms because anybody who played sports, they lived in a different section of the campus than everybody else. And the football players used to throw the bangingest parties. Like, the football players, yo, they had the crazy parties. All the girls used to go to the football parties. But these cats used to want to be bullies because they was, bigger than everybody. A lot of them had like boisterous personalities. And they used to try to get fly all the damn time. They used to try to get fly all the time. You know what I mean? And I just never wanted to be around them because Hofstra is really around the corner from my hood in Hempstead, where I'm from. And I never wanted to bring my friends over there because I always knew that if they ever got into it, somebody would get hurt, especially when the football players, because a lot of them cats, they's from the boroughs, they not from Long Island. They don't really know too much about Long Island. They come out here to Long Island, they might get caught up. And, something definitely can happen. So I never wanted my friends around them type of dudes because it could definitely be an issue. And I remember one time, I had people who stayed on campus for the summer. And the football team used to always have like their training camps in the summer. And they stay in the different dorms. And them cats be playing cards, smoking, doing all this craziness like they not college students, you know what I mean? And just want to bully people. And I remember one time, you know, they had like a poker table set up in the hallway. And nobody could get through. Like, nobody could get through. And people was just walking the other way. So I'm like, nah, fuck that. So I'm walking straight through these dudes. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing to me, and ain't nothing gonna happen. And I did. And nothing happened. They just looked at me like I'm crazy. I'm looking back at them like they crazy, and nothing ever happened. But it was always a little bit of animosity with me and the football players. I just never knew about it. You know what I mean? Never knew about it. So somebody else checked in and said, "You play cricket?" Nope, never played cricket. I see cats playing cricket. A lot of people from England, a lot of people from like the islands play cricket. But funny, I grew up playing baseball. Actually, I tried out for Hofstra baseball team, made it to the last cut. They cut me, but I was pretty good in baseball. Played at Shea Stadium, did all of that stuff. You know what I mean? It was an all-star game between the best Long Island players and the best Queen City players, New York City players. I played in it. We won. I started at center field, made an error in the first inning, son, struck out. So I got benched after like the second inning, man. Got benched right after the second inning. But it was a learning experience and it was definitely fun. Somebody else said W. Somebody said, what about John Pork? Who's John Pork? Somebody else on the check-in said, hello. Was good. Was good. How you feeling? How are you feeling? You know? So yeah, it should be a good series. It should most definitely be a good series. I'm looking forward to the games, you know. Of all times, who would I say my favorite Nick is? Who's my favorite Nick of all time? Now I would have to go back to like a Allen Houston. I really like, I like Stoudemire. I like Marbury, Starbury. Everybody like Marbury out here, you know. Um, Yeah, probably Marbury. Marbury probably is my favorite Nick of all time. You know what I mean? Mark Jackson. I definitely like Mark. Uh, that was my boy. You go back to Starks and them, that really wasn't my team. I ain't like them cats too much. I definitely ain't like them cats too much. But I'm up out here, man. Thank you guys for checking in. We are at 7-Eleven. I'm about to go in here and make my tea, my people. And I'll holler at y'all tomorrow. Thanks everybody for checking in. We're gonna have different and new topics tomorrow. But peace out. I love y'all. This is your boy, the Outlier. Yeah.